It's that time again. Welcome to Vedic Astrology. Join me this week so that we can go through and analyze the period November 24th to December 8th, 2021 for your Tarot and Patra reading. This is a brighter day with Vedic Astrology to guide you over the sea of life. Visit ZedamAstrology.com, subscribe, sign up, share for your tarot and patra readings, your runes, your chakras, your crystals. There are customized reports waiting for you. Join me on my website, ZedamAstrology.com. This is for my new subscribers or viewers who have no idea of Vedic astrology and how we go about the business of analyzing your Kundali or birth chart. This is just a division of the sky into signs, which is Rashis, Nakshatras, which are the stars, and Padas. The sky is divided into the 12 signs, the zodiac signs, starting from Aries to Pisces or Mesha to Meena. And these Rashis or zodiac signs are all adding up to 360 degrees. They are each 30 degrees. Then we divide each of the 30 degrees into nakshatras, and each nakshatra is 13 degrees 20 minutes. And you would find that some nakshatras are straddling one Rashi, so that the reason for that is because we further divide the nakshatras into padas, or sometimes we say these padas are the seeds of Shiva and Parvati, and this is where we get the 9 padas for each rasi or in the zodiac, and each pada is divided into 3 degrees 20 minutes. So that this is the basic tool that we use when we look at your Kundali or birth chart. We look at the planets posited in the particular rasis, and then we look at the nakshatras they are posited in, and then the padas, so that we get a deep and meaningful predictive technique that compared to other forms of astrology does not really shine like Vedic astrology. So this is just my take on giving you a little description to understand, the terminology and the words that I use during my analysis, and you can take your time and go through this and look at it to understand Vedic astrology at another level. And this is the transit of Grahas beginning November 24th, 2021. And we see the placement of planets, especially for Jupiter and Saturn. They have finally separated from Capricorn. Jupiter is now in Aquarius, albeit 1 degree Aquarius, but Jupiter is now in Aquarius. And that bodes well for a lot of people and persons whose Jupiter will give them the expansion and the blessings that they so desire or should be rewarded for the hard work that they have completed at and up to this time. Jupiter is in Dhanishta nakshatra, which is a Mars-ruled nakshatra, and Dhanishta is all about the symphony and how you align your life to the environment and how you deal with the issues by the lessons learned of your past life and your present life. Jupiter is the guru. Jupiter is the teacher. Jupiter gives you wisdom and intelligence. And right now Jupiter aspects Mars in Libra by his 9th aspect, and also Saturn in Capricorn aspect Mars in Libra by his 10th aspect, so that you have Libra, the sign of justice and balance, giving you intelligence and giving you that energy and that passion to move on and move along. Saturn is there giving you productivity and discipline. The Jupiter also gives that wisdom and that knowledge, so that Libra and ascendants of Libra will really have a good time from Jupiter and Saturn for this period. And Jupiter is going to remain in Aquarius for the next 5 months, in fact, Jupiter went to Aquarius on the 20th of November, and he will remain there until around the 13th of April 2022. So that at the end of the day, you know, you see a lot of analysis right now on Jupiter transit on the internet and the World Wide Web. But at the end of the day, I take a different view in terms of your natal placement of Jupiter and other planets and how they affect Jupiter and transit Jupiter in the Nishta. Because I always say, you know, at the end of the day, the foundation of you is your natal placements. So the transit will affect you, but how will they affect you? Because you still have to take in consideration your natal placements. We continue with Venus being in Sagittarius, and we have Sun, Ketu, and Mercury in Scorpio. Now, Sun still is in combustion with Mars, even though Mars is in Libra, and Mercury is also combust because Mercury is 6 degrees Scorpio while Sun is 9 degrees Scorpio. You also have the ascendant at 7 degrees Scorpio, so you have a little conjunction there that will make you feel a little chaotic. It may give you some kind of communication that is garbled. It could also bring selfishness to you and your speech in terms of how you want to communicate. So that we have to be careful again and continuous still in terms of communication, because Mercury is combust. And that does not bode well for us sometimes, because Scorpio is the natural 8th house of the Kala Purush. And that brings secrets, it brings transformations, so that you have to be careful that you don't let out anybody's secret, that you don't let out your own secrets, or that somebody comes to know something that you don't want to let out, you know, so that your speech and your communication, your networking at this point in time will be very crucial to you. And I will go into the transit and natal conjunctions and movements in another video. But I really feel that when we are looking at transits of grahas, we need to look at your natal positions. And this is why I don't really give predictions. I speak about it generally because I don't know your Kundali, I don't know your birth chart. Because if we acknowledge that the transit of Jupiter over natal Jupiter is something to be looked at, then we acknowledge that Jupiter's natal position in your chart is important. So that, you know, at the end of the day, why am I giving predictions of Jupiter in Aquarius when I don't know where your natal Jupiter is posited? I can tell you that, you know, if Jupiter is your ascendant in, or if your ascendant, sorry, is Aries, then Jupiter is master and lord of your 12th bhava and your 9th bhava. But then where is your Jupiter, your natal Jupiter? Because I'm only saying that your ascendant is in Aries. It doesn't tell me anything. Your natal Jupiter needs to be acknowledged for us to understand really what does your transit Jupiter mean for you. And which is why I really do not delve, as I said, into the predictions of transits, because at the end of the day, it really is a general prediction and really has nothing to do with you. So understand where I'm coming from, understand what I'm trying to do, and work with the knowledge that we are sharing together. Okay, let's choose our cards for the period November 24th to December 8th. And the tarot spread that I'm going to deal with for this period will be the Celtic cross. So we have the element being chosen now, and the element is water, Jala, Apas. So that again, we still have a lot of emotions that we need to fix. We have a lot of emotions that are coming through. We are emotional about a lot of things or issues in the environment that will affect us or our family and our ourselves. So let us see what is the wisdom that we are getting with these emotions for this period beginning November 24th and ending on December 8th. The chakra wisdom that we will choose, or that is being given to us through divine intervention, is enlightenment. Enlightenment. What a lovely card. And because we just went through Jupiter, we just went through transit, and here we have an elder standing in front of a child giving information or guidance or blessings, and we will see where that takes us for this reading. Let us look at the bhava that we are going to focus on for this period. And the bhava that is being given to us for this period is the third bhava. The third bhava. And the third bhava is all about courage. It's all about communication, Mercury. It's all about siblings. So it also brings family into focus here. So are we emotional about our family? Do we need to be enlightened about our family? Are the older ones in our family going to give us some advice that we need to listen to? All of these things should be taken into consideration when we evaluate or analyze what is happening to us for this period. And the planet that we are getting to guide us for, Pluto, god of the underworld, secrets. And we spoke about the transformation and secrets of the 8th house. So let us see the deity that will guide us now. Who will give us that comfort? Who will give us that guidance? Who will give us that joy to move through life for this period beginning November 24th to December 8th? And as I always tell you, these cards are my nemesis. They are so big and unwieldy, but I have to get through them because this is just part and parcel of my communication with you. And as you can see, my communication with you is having a really rough time this period. So the cards speak for themselves, the transit of the grahas speak for themselves. But the deity that is going to connect us this week is Brahma. Wow, god of creation. So Brahma is going to create something for us. So let us wait and see what Brahma is going to create for us, because he's the 1/3 of the Trimurti in Hinduism, and in Vedic astrology the gods surely form part and parcel of the zodiac signs that we utilize to analyze and evaluate the potential pitfalls and successes for you in your Kundali. So let us shuffle this back and let us choose our cards for the Celtic cross spread so that we can find out what is happening for the period November 24th to December 20th. And here we go. Let us cut this pack as I normally do, and then choose the cards that the gods have given to us to understand their messages. And that first card is the 6 of fire, and that will be you, or us as we say. The challenges will come from the magician. And why should we have challenges from the magician? We'll find out. The 7 of water is the next card. We have the star. Wow. We have 2 of air. Goodness. 4 of earth. Interesting. Then we have 5 of fire. So 6 of fire, 5 of fire, 3 of fire. So we have a lot of fiery action in this reading. Then we have 5 of water. So there we again have emotions. And the final card is the Empress. So we have the Empress, the star, and the magician as outside influences that we have no control over. And we'll see what positions these are in terms of the challenges, the distant past, and the final outcome. And here we have the first three of the energy cards: Enlightenment, Pluto, and Water. Enlightenment shows us an older gentleman listening to the cries or the questions of an innocent. And is this what we need to be enlightened about? Do we need to be enlightened about our wisdom or intelligence or our innocence? And in the stories, the gentleman there is Topaz, who is a renowned spiritual teacher. And people travel to listen to him and to hear him. And on one of his journeys, he met this child. And the child asked him, if enlightenment is to be found in my own mind, how do I get there? And Topaz looks at the child and says, through your fears. So your fears brings you enlightenment. When you go through your fears or you confront your fears, you become enlightened. And this is the lesson that this card wants to tell us. And the chakra that it's aligned to is the Manipura Chakra. And I want to go into detail about that in a little bit. But let me deal with Pluto and water. And fears is the key word for the enlightenment. Isn't that something? And here we have Pluto, where we have a power struggle, an obsession, the need for control. And he is the god of the underworld. Pluto is the god of the underworld. It is also deemed as the planet of power. And what do we get from the god of the underworld? We get regeneration, rebirth, renewal, destruction, death, transformation. So that Pluto knows how to push your buttons to get a reaction. And it deals with your fears. And where is Pluto right now? Pluto is in Capricorn. And he's there with Saturn, and Saturn is kind of controlling him right now, but still he's pushing us. He's telling us to deal with that infant in front of us who is all innocence. But is it really all innocence? How can a child or an infant understand that if enlightenment is to be found in his own mind, then he has to face his fears? Is that a child's question or thought? So then look at it in that respect, and we will move on and look at the chakra that gives us this enlightenment, because Pluto gives us the struggle, the obsession, and the need for control. Water, Jala, Apas gives us the emotional output or input that is required for us. Do we need to control our emotions, or are we obsessed with our emotions that it is out of control, that the emotional outburst that we make through speech gives us that combustion with Sun and Mercury in Scorpio? And remember, Scorpio is the natural 8th house of the Kala Purush that holds secrets and regeneration and rebirth and transformation. Remember, we dealt with that in the transit of the grahas. So now I just want to deal with the enlightenment and the chakra that it represents in this time. The Manipura Chakra, or the third chakra, also called the solar plexus chakra, speaks to your ability to be confident and in control of your life. And why is this the basis for the enlightenment, where Topaz is telling you through your fears you get enlightenment? And this chakra here is the basis for giving into that fear, for you to control your life. It gives you that confidence to face your fears. Think back to the last time you had butterflies or felt a pit in your stomach. That's the Manipura Chakra at work. You are gearing up or giving yourself that push to deal with what is in front of you, what is blocking you, what is giving you the obstacles through your path. You might feel overwhelming amounts of shame and self-doubt, so that you are not confident to use your solar plexus, your Mars action and passion to move forward and face your fears. Those with the open sacral chakras are free to express their true self, so that only when you confront your fears do you become free? And that is where enlightenment comes from. You know, the energy focus is intellect, ambition, personal power, protection or protectiveness, you know, and it develops at an early age, 15 to 21 years old. So those of us who are beyond that should also have that wisdom and that intellect from Tobas to face our fears, to confront it and understand that when we push it aside or put it to the back of us and don't deal with it, it just comes back to haunt you. You know, it doesn't disappear. Life is a cycle and you have to deal with issues for them to be put aside. You have to deal with the issues for them to be placed behind you. You can't go around it. You can't transfer it. You can't delete it. It must be dealt with. And the Manipura Chakra, the solar plexus chakra, gives you that confidence and control in your life to deal with your fears. And the color here is yellow, you know. The mantra is self-love starts when I accept all parts of myself. And one part of yourself is dealing with your fear. You know, we like to leave that to the back. Some people put it to the forefront, but most of us put it to the back. We don't prioritize it as we should, because when we deal with that, with our fears, that is where we move forward. That is where we grow. That is where we develop. That is where our self-esteem or self-worth and our self-confidence comes from. That when we deal with our fears. The stone or the crystal here is amber, but it can also be citrine, yellow jasper, golden calcite, yellow apatite, and gold tiger eye. So these are some of the crystals that you can keep close to you, that you can energize through placing them in the sun and holding them in your hands when you pray, to get that confidence to deal with your fears and become enlightened. And here we have the third house, or third bhava, and Brahma, god of creation. And what is Brahma asking us to be creative about? He's asking us to be creative about making the right connections, the ideas that you get going, you know, who and what is around you. Why should we be creative about that? Because they affect our fears, they affect our courage. You know, we have short-term thinking and trips here, short journeys. So where are we going in the period November 24th to December 8th? Are we taking a journey, or have we been on a journey? Is it a mental journey or a physical journey? When you think about creation, you think about ideas, you think about your mind, you think about what you want to look at. And while Brahma is there in meditation, and you have persons around him meditating with him, you also have Lord Vishnu in the background there, sitting on Shesha, Ananta. And Vishnu is all about maintenance. So that, do we want to maintain the relationship with our siblings, with our brothers? Or do we have the courage to do it? Are we going to confront our fears? Did we have some emotional fallout with them? Or are we emotional about how they are looking at us and how they are dealing with us now? Are we going to confront our fears or confront them? Because third house is all about your siblings. Third house is all about loss. Also, it's all about short trips and journeys. It's all about generally your wealth, you know, short-term wealth in terms of travel. So it seems to point to some kind of familial emotional fallout that you need to confront, that you need to get creative about you, about your ideas, and that you can probably seal or reseal that friendship or that connection with your siblings. So have the courage, face your fears, be creative, and understand that this period is to heal. Heal yourself and heal those around you, especially in or within your family. Right, we come to the tarot spread, the Celtic Cross, and we have first three cards here: Six of Fire, the Magician, and Seven of Water. And these are you, yourself, what is happening with you and where you are, your current situation, What are your challenges or conflicts, or it could be support, and what is the root of the issue for you in this period, November 24th to December 8th. Let's take a closer look. Good. Your present situation, your current focus is victory, good news, public recognition and reward. You are riding on the steed towards victory. The laurels of victory are with you. You have fire, you have passion. The sun is the graha of the cards here. So it's a big win for you. And that is where you get your acknowledgement, your enthusiasm, your strength, stability, your pride, trouble-free, leading the way. This is your current situation. What more can you ask for? You know, and this is what Jupiter does for you in Aquarius. I did start off with my transit of the Grahas saying that Jupiter is going to do good things for many people. And the cards are saying you are one. So even though it's a general reading, victory is yours. It's coming to you. Jupiter in Aquarius is giving you that Six of Wands, that ride to victory. The battle is done. The battle is over. You are now going home, and home is where victory and success awaits you. The Magician is the card that crosses you, and the Magician says you are ready. You have the resources and the ability to manifest anything. Life is magical, you know, and this is what the cards tell you. So, and you know, in the Celtic Cross reading, it says challenges, conflicts, but this is not a challenge. This is a supportive and enabler. The Magician tells you you can go any which way. The challenge is you have so many ways and pathways to take. So that is the challenge for you here. So you are conflicted about all the good things in front of you, all the pathways in front of you, all the mechanisms that will lead you to success. You are seeing it. The Magician gives you that spiritual wisdom. It gives you the unknown potential to take any pathway and be successful. So you are conflicted by the many avenues open to you for you to gain that success. Riding that white horse, riding that horse after the battle, you have many forked roads in front of you, but they all lead to success because the Magician is there, giving you mental clarity, giving you eternity, giving you creativity. Brahma is there. And Brahman, the Magician, gives you that creativity, that passion and that power, you know, the logic, the network, Mercury, beginnings, joy, success, happiness. You shouldn't be conflicted. You shouldn't be challenged. You should just make your choice. And the Seven of Cups tells you to make a choice is the root of the issue because you have so many choices in front of you. Look at the Seven of Cups. It is a soul searching, you know, find out where you fit in. It's a self-examination. And what did we say the Manipura Chakra was? It was all about self-confidence, self-esteem. So it all comes back here, integration. Look at the wording here, enlightenment, meditation, daydreaming, you know, your fantasies, your illusions. So what are the illusions in front of you? Is it that your emotions are overwhelming you because you have so many good things in front of you, you can't believe it? Is it that your action is not going to be taken because of the many pathways in front of you, that you have come out of the dark times, you are seeing the light? The Magician is there. The Seven of Cups is telling you that it is not a simple decision, it's a complex decision. And while you have a need to do research, you need to also stop procrastinating, you know, because the pathways are there in front of you. Take that decision, take that step, face your fears. The chakra, the Manipura Chakra, is also the card of the Seven of Cups. It's aligned here, and it says, you know, it's your power and your vitality. Home, that is where you get it from. Face your fears. Make that decision that faces your fears and take that step in the new pathway that leads you to success. That is the root of your issue. And here we have the Star, the Two of Air, and the Four of Earth. And these hold the positions of your past, the best outcome, and your immediate future. So let's see what they bring to us. The star here holding the position of the past, recent past, shows you that there is you balancing the water overflowing from two jugs. You have your feet in the water, one in the water and one on land. So you are balancing yourself, and this is Libra, and Libra gives you that balance, and Saturn, Graha of the card is Saturn, and Saturn right now is given a 10th aspect to Mars in Libra, so that you are balancing the action and your thought. You are balancing your emotions with stability and the foundation that you have in your past. You have taken the right path in the past, and it is now bringing you to the star. And the star, the element here is value. It can go any which way because you have two overflowing jugs. One is emotions, one is mental clarity, wisdom, divine. You have abundance on your side. Your subconscious is telling you, yes, you have to make that complex decision, but based on the past, you are clear that you have to be balanced. You can't just rush into it. So this is where the research came from your past. You have done it before. You are on the right path. So take that decision that will lead you to future success with the Six of Wands and the Magician. The Two of Swords speaks to choices again, and the best outcome is from your choice. Again, the zodiac sign here is Libra, cardinal air, so that you have movement. You have to make that choice. All the battles are behind you. You have defeated everything behind you. You are now in front. Take the blinders off. Don't procrastinate. Make that choice. Take that step. You can face your fears by taking off that blindfold. And it comes here again. Don't be in denial. Don't sit on the fence. Face your fears to become enlightened. Topaz told the child, to be enlightened, you need to face your fears. So don't be unable or willing to make that choice. Don't become part of a stalemate and not moving. The heart chakra is here, so listen to your heart. Your emotions, your feelings may be a bit overwhelming, but you can control it. Once you face your fears, you can control those emotions, and your heart will tell you where it should lead you, because your heart is home to compassion, gratitude, love, joy, and serenity. Being blind to the truth is not what you need to do at this point in time. Believe in yourself. Believe that you have passed the battle. The fears are there in front of you. Face them because you have battled. You are still alive. You are still there holding the swords. Take the blindfolds off and move on. And the Four of Pentacles is what the choice brings you. It brings you that savings, that investment, that wealth, the self-interest, that you need to not hold on to material things now. You need to keep a spiritual control. The Graha of the card here is Saturn, but choices brings you financial stability and security. So that Two of Swords, that Two of Air, brings you this, but it also tells you that you know what you have. You know what you have. Don't be stingy, don't be greedy, don't be obsessed. Pluto is there giving you a need to control, a need for you to be obsessed. It's giving you that planet of power. Rebel against stinginess, rebel against miserliness, but don't be frivolous, and don't be too cautious with money. Share. Make good business decisions, make good self decisions. Face your fears of giving, face your fears of sharing. Keep to yourself, yes, if you want to be isolated, but at the end of the day, Four of Pentacles, Four of Earth tells you that giving to those less fortunate will only bring you joy. So don't isolate yourself. K2 is there with the ascendant in Scorpio, and probably that's your secret. You now have and you want to hold on. But the world and God is telling you to share. Share what you have. Don't hold on to it. The conjunction of Sun, Mercury, ascendant, and K2 in Scorpio, gives you that kind of chaotic isolation vibe, you know, where you want to just be by yourself and hold on to what you have. But don't be rigid, don't be closed, don't block yourself or obstruct yourself. Make the choice to share, make the choice to move forward, make the choice to choose a path so that you can grow and develop in this journey. 5 of fire, 3 of fire, and 5 of water. These are the cards holding the positions where you see the factors affecting you, your self-perception, the external environment, action to be taken, your hopes and fears. So let us look at it and see what these mean in the context of the Celtic cross for the period November 24th to December 8th. The Five of Wands tells you that you perceive yourself as having challenges with others, that they always seek to have a skirmish with you, or that you are running around in circles getting nowhere. You know, that the many demands on your time, you have many interests, and that you can't seem to move forward. There is always something blocking you. But the zodiac sign here is Leo. It's fixed fire. And the graha of the card is Sun. And Sun is the ruler of the Leo zodiac sign. So that you have that energy. You have that passion to meet challenges. You have the passion and the patience to fight your way through challenges and obstacles. So why do you perceive yourself as being in conflict with others? Is it that you feel that your ego needs some stoking? Is it that you feel that you are better than others? Is that your emotions overwhelming you? Is it that your Pluto giving you the chance to see your power and your rebelliousness or your regeneration? What it is that the Five of Wands gives you that conflict, what it is about that Five of Wands that tells you, you know, you are competing with others, you don't want to bother with details, you are always in conflict with others. Why is that? Why are you feeling conflicted with others? Why do you perceive yourself as not being liked? And that is where you have to delve into your creative thoughts, where Brahma is telling you to be creative, where you probably need to ask the questions and face your fears to become enlightened. Because this is something about you, your personal challenge. Your personal challenge is to understand whether the liking of people or whether people like you or not means something to you. What is the weight that it holds in your life? What is the priority that you are going to give it? Or is it just a thought, a fleeting thought for you? Give it weight and understand why you feel you are in conflict with others, or why others are always conflicted with you. The Three of Fire or the Three of Wands tells you that the external environment is going to give you an abundance. Things look very good. You know, make long-term plans. You are going on that journey. You are standing there looking at the ship. The graha of the card here is Mars, so you need to take action. Are you going to travel? Are you going to take that journey? Are you going to emigrate? Are you going to a foreign land? You know, what is the liberation for you? Moving forward with plans, looking to the future. This is the external environment helping you, enabling you, supporting you on that journey that you are going to be taking, and where you have plans for the future. You know, you're running with your plans, you're building momentum, you're taking a step in the right direction, you are seeking investment in yourself and in your family, you are seeking investment in the communication with your siblings, because you want to grow that wealth. You want to grow that wealth, whether it is material wealth, physical wealth in terms of your health, or spiritual wealth in terms of divinity. You know, you are going to make it happen because you are standing there on the cusp. The wands are there flourishing for you. Abundance is there. It is growing with you. You have done what you have been required to do. You are standing on the rock now, looking at the ship sailing on the sea. Are you going to make that choice, that tour where it tells you that you have to make that choice? Are you going to take that journey? Are you going to take that journey to move away from where you are now to new lands, to new things, to new beginnings? The Five of Water, or the Five of Cups, tells you that you have the hopes and fears of a broken spirit. You know that you are heartbroken. But what are you heartbroken about? You know, you are heartbroken about nothing, because things are turning out the way that you didn't want it to turn out. But there are choices that you have to make. With new beginnings comes transformation and change. And while you might have deep sorrow about certain things in the past, the future holds for you success, abundance. Forget the trauma, forget the broken spirit, forget the painful time that you had. You think about it, your hopes and fears are not going to overwhelm you. Don't let the element of water overwhelm you. What is the action that you have to take? You have to stop looking down and you have to look forward. Yes, cups have fallen over, things have been destroyed, changes have been made, but there are still cups standing there for you. You know, you are crying over spilt milk. You can't change the past. You can't change the past. Your hopes and fears was that probably, you know, I should have done this, or I could have done this, or, you know, if I made this decision, or what if this had happened, or what if that had happened. What ifs don't cut it for you. You have passed that stage. That is spilt milk. Mop it up, wipe it down, spray it, disinfect it, hand sanitize it, and move on. The journey you have to take will bring you success. The journey that you have to take will bring you abundance. The world is there for you. The magician is there for you. The star was there for you, putting you on the right path. Make the choice to believe in yourself. Make the choice to understand that we lose some, we gain some. You know, it's gain and loss, profit and loss. That is life. You can't always win. And you will never always lose. God is great. Bhagwan will look after you. Deal with it and make the choice. And through all of that, the Empress is the final outcome. And it goes back to the transit of the Graha with Jupiter. Jupiter in Aquarius is all about abundance. Jupiter has come out from the discipline and the disciplinarian that is Saturn in Capricorn. He is now in Aquarius. He's free to fly. He's free to expand. He is no longer debilitated. After a long time, debilitation is no longer what we are concerned about with Jupiter. He can expand, he can bless, he can give us the knowledge and wisdom. And this is what the Empress is telling us. The final outcome is it gives birth to your dream. Nurture yourself and others. And the others may very well be in that third bhava, your sibling. What you have now, share with them. You know, you have lavish abundance, because that is the final outcome. And that final outcome may not be within the period November 24th to December 8th, but it is coming to you because you have worked for it. Venus is there for you. It is going to give you that stability, because the zodiac sign is Taurus, and Taurus is the second house in the natural Kala Purush, which is all about wealth, which is all about finances, which is all about stability, because it is an earth sign. So that, you know, you have creativity, which is the Brahma card. You have harmony, you have fertility, you are grounded, you have that power. You know, all the 12 zodiac signs are represented here in the Empress card. So that this is the best outcome. Take the chance, make that choice, go on that ship, take that journey. Be careful of whom and how you speak. There is chaos. You are feeling a little weary, but at the end of the day, your choices and the pathways, the numerous pathways in front of you, are going to bring you success and abundance for this period. Make the journey for yourself. Take the journey over the sea of life. Vedic astrology gives you that push, it gives you that foresight, and tells you the potential that you have for this period. At the end of this period, where we look at December 8th, the transit of Grahas, we see the movement of Mars moving into Scorpio with Sun, Ketu, Ascendant, and Mercury. We see Venus and Moon posited with Saturn, and those are the changes that come about. And this is the great thing about Vedic astrology. Although Sun and Mars are now in Scorpio together, Mars is no longer combust. He's beyond the 17 degrees that makes him combust. And at the end of the day, you now have that energy, you now have that passion, you now have that action to take that choice. You no longer feel lethargic or that chaos, you can't do anything, but take action, reasoning within yourself, because Mercury is still combust. Mercury is combust because Mercury is in Scorpio at 28 degrees Scorpio, while Sun is there at 23. So that you have to be careful here, because your sole desire is communication, your sole desire is speech, because Mercury is your Atma Karaka, but the Sun is your Amatya Karaka, and your ego is what you may want to push your soul's desire for beginning this period. But when Mercury is combust, what do I tell you when Mercury is combust? Your speech is garbled, your speech is not communicated properly, you say things that you may not want to say, you do not say things that people take it in the right context. You are not clear, you are not complete, you are not concise in your communication. And Sun and Mercury are very close, so that the combustion here is very deep. So be careful how you communicate, be careful about your networking, be careful about your business partners. If the house that Mercury is in now represents your seventh bhava, then you need to be careful about contracts and business partners and any legal issues that you might be quagmired in at this point in time. So it's not only about speech, it depends on the house that is represented where Mercury and Sun is combust right now. So which is why I go back when I first started with the transit of Grahas and say that predictions based on transit is not for me to give to you, because I don't know what your kundali and what your stars are aligned to in your chart. And this is just an example of it. Is Mercury sitting in your seventh house? And where is your natal Mercury? Is Mercury transiting over your natal Mercury? What is happening in your chart, so that take these transit of grahas as a general guideline, as a general feeling, as the potential of what could happen, but based on your chart, then we will be specific as to, is this going to happen to you and to what degree? What is the weight assigned to Mercury being combust here? Is it okay, you just need to be quiet for a little while and isolate yourself because Ketu is here too? Is this your first house? Is it all about you? Is it, as the cards say, that this is your third house? Focus on your third house, your siblings, your courage. What is this Mercury transit and combustion meaning for you? And this is why I go back again and keep in mind that predictions can only be fruitful and can only be targeted when I know your chart. And we have Venus and Saturn with Moon here in Capricorn, and that stellium there is going to give you a little mental gymnastics, in that Moon is not an enemy nor Venus an enemy of Saturn. They are both neutral, so that whoever or whichever planet here has the Shadbala, which is greater, or the raw strength of the planet, is going to win out. So is it going to be that you are going to be thinking a lot? Is it that luxuries are going to come to you but slowly? Is it Saturn going to give you some work for you to do mental gymnastics to get those luxuries from Venus. You know, this is what Capricorn is going to bring to you with Venus, Moon, and Saturn. Jupiter is there in Aquarius. We went through a lot with Jupiter in the cards. Jupiter is there giving his blessings and expansion and knowledge and wisdom. And that is where we are at the end of the period, November 24th to December 8th. So the transit of the grahas only works for you specifically if we know your Kundali. So visit zidamastrology.com and request your report. Bhagwan's blessings has allowed me once again to bring these knowledge and transfer knowledge to you from his research and him guiding me to reach those research and view those research. I ask that you be healthy, happy, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.